Could be. All three of us going for PartinG, though. This guy is a Terran killer. He just killed Flash. He's killed him twice. To defeat God twice is pretty big.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's exactly why I voted for him. PartinG just looking in form, especially in his last match against Flash. And I mean, Reality is good and all, and Reality has kind of his own style and thoughts about the game, but at the same time, like, I don't think it's going to be enough to take on PartinG.
PartinG known for his ceremonies, his attitude, his style. Looks pretty straightforward today. Looks ready to go, ready to grab a win here from this Terran player. His stats versus Protoss leave him at a 2 and 3. He's 7 and 6 overall. He's been a decent player here for Samsung. Has managed to get them 7 points. Pretty good results. And he's 4 out of 5 in his recent games. I think that's pretty important to note.
Yeah. Definitely showing a lot of strength against Zerg. Loves to play that super passive mech style, notably against Sophie in that 2-hour and 40-minute game, or 26-minute game maybe.
Something like that. It was really long. Go look it up if you haven't seen it, if you've got, 3 hours to spare. Reality, yeah, definitely known for his mech play versus Zerg. Known for his play versus Zerg in general. Versus Protoss, though, it's not going to be an easy one against PartinG here. Game number 1, the map is loaded. Let's jump into Overgrowth for PartinG versus Reality, our very last match of round 4.
SKT.
Down here in the bottom left in the orange for SK Telecom, the Protoss player, it is PartinG.
And up to the top right in the pink for Samsung Galaxy Con, it's Reality. One of the best Kessel players to switch in the very first days of Kessel players playing StarCraft 2.
But hasn't really had that much success compared to some of the other Kesper players switching over.
Definitely true. And let's take a look at what sort of builds we're going to see on this map. I mean, right now, this map is a map that's often picked by Zerg players, so it's kind of funny that we see Protoss and a Terran here.
Exactly. I was kind of thinking it. I was like, we haven't seen that many Terran versus Protoss on this map.
We've only seen one, in fact.
Wow. Yeah, obviously a better Zerg map. And I kind of see why. I mean, it's a lot of hard kind of chokes to kind of attack on, especially if we're going to see like a lazy boy push or anything. Like Colossus will do so much better on this map considering the ramps and the chokes. And yeah, I mean, we just haven't seen it that much. Maybe both of these players were kind of hoping to snipe a Zerg when they chose this map. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Didn't work out the way they planned. Moonley, what do you think about the new maps, actually? Have you taken a look at those that got released today?
I had a little bit of a gander, but I didn't get a chance to plan any just yet. Probably when I get home tonight, I'll load them up and have a real look. But some of them look pretty nice, and it's really cool that Blizzard are deciding to release like 4 new maps, like really changing up the map pool and making it a lot more interesting.
Oh, we did see have a sign that said that PartinG was SKT1's last Romeo. I'm not really sure what that means, but maybe he's like the only single player on the team or something. But
I guess it's possible.
Very unlikely, but I mean, I guess there are lots of handsome men on SKT1, but I wouldn't expect PartinG to be the last one. Maybe he's the last person who still has chivalry, but I'm like, I don't know, PartinG doesn't really seem that chivalrous to me.
I don't see that being a thing, man.
Maybe he's like the last person who's got issues with like the Montagues. Like, I'm not really sure. Really. But yeah, so yeah, I looked at the maps. The only one that I know is Foxtrot, because I know that was one of the TL map winners.
Right,
I'm very happy with that one. I'm glad they chose that one rather than like the really big one that won the contest. Not sure how. I guess that one got voted in because it was like pretty weird, but I would have been so sad to have like that 5-player map on the ladder. That would have been pretty wonky.
That would be wonky. But yeah, I mean, it's a good map pool, solid map pool, and I'm really looking forward to laddering on them.
I like the removed maps as well. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, and something we haven't seen much in the past is that a lot of the maps will remain the same, and we might get like 2 new maps per season, and it definitely kind of slows down the game progression a lot. I feel like it makes it a bit more stale. But when you got like 4 new maps, like it's a whole new world. It's a lot of fun.
Certainly is. Well, we have a very standard opening from both players. Zealot was canceled. Nexus gets started. Here comes the Reaper. Mothership Core is out here, surfing around, waiting to deny that Reaper. If he wants to find the third pylon, he sees this pylon. That's probably enough information for him to know where to check later.
Great zoning by that mothership core.
Yeah, very, very well done. Very meticulous. And again, just chrono boosting as many probes out as possible as he does get that Nexus out. He's going to want to get those probes down there.
We are seeing that fast factory, so maybe we'll see some Banshee play from this. We'll have to wait and see exactly.
Reaper sneaks in here. Pretty important, but there's a Stalker, and he's not confident enough to actually go in there because on this map it's hard to jump out from the north. You can only really go up that one location, so pretty tough to actually get that complete scout. Looks like we're going to see some Hellions to start things off with. We've seen this build a lot come into popularity. Usually players use it when they're not confident against their opponents in a straight-up game. They want to try to get the damage done early.
So we could very well see like some Marine Hellion Medivac sort of aggression, which we have seen a lot for in the past. You see like the Marines kind of dropped in the main, and the Hellions will run behind the natural. And I mean, if the Protoss isn't careful, they will lose a lot of probes.
Yeah. We're seeing fast Robo coming out of PartinG. I believe he's just going to get an Observer quick out of this. He's going to be very safe, going to get a nice scout on the Terran here.
Yeah, not going to rush out any Immortals or anything like that, as he has been known to do in other matchups. Let's see how well this Hellion drop does. I think most likely he will drop the Marines and run the Hellions because the Hellions have that mobility anyways via ground.
Yeah,
going to show these actually, allowing the Reaper to get into the main base, but not a whole lot of damage done here. In fact, only 3 kills. See if he gets more.
Gets that 4th. He's trying to get that last probe, but I don't think he's going to get any more. He's going. Oh, he does get 1 more, so 4 in total. Or
a little
5.
bit of damage.
Yeah, 5 there.
But I mean, that was for a Reaper and a Hellion, and the Reaper didn't get any scout whatsoever. So it was really great positioning on the Mothership Core and the extra Stalker.
I think it's often much more, useful to go with 4 Hellions because even though it takes a lot longer to get them there, there's just so much more potential for damage.
Yeah.
Stalkers are already prepared for the drop. When you show Hellions, the rest of the story is already known. There's no secrets here. He knows exactly what's coming next. He's going to have the Stalkers split to deny the medevac.
And you know what? We're seeing the exact same build from PartinG that he did against Flash, going straight into Colossus, no upgrades. And so I wonder if we'll see another timing.
Well, before we see that, we have to see these Stalkers get a little bit of support, because even though they get that medevac, 1 Stalker will fall, maybe even get 2 here. Hellions totally blocked and denied.
Wow. Amazing force field there, and now he can just kite in the main base against these Marines. I think he might just want to go for probes here. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to get 1, and now he's going to be forced to fight here with the probes. Nice micro out of PartinG, not losing too much.
Yeah, PartinG is actually totally fine here. I think the Hellions should have either run away or try to kill more probes than natural, but they just sat there and killed a sentry and died. The sentry for 4 Hellions, no. Could have done a lot more, I think, or at least save the Hellions for a follow-up attack.
I mean, he got 7 probes from that all up, and that was so much aggression. That was a medivac full of Marines.
He lost all of it.
Yeah, 6 Hellions. That is not worth it at all, and this is looking very good for PartinG's kind of ideal strategy, which is going to be very fast Colossus. We'll have to wait and see if he's going to go for that 3rd base or he's going to go straight for a 2 base kind of all in.
Looks like this Widowmine wants to know the same thing. He's going to come over here and burrow. Will be in range to kill the probe and also deny the Nexus. So two different roles it can play here. May have only 2 Hellions on the map. He's started to cut those out, but he made 8 Hellions. That's a big investment into units that usually don't come into play in this matchup very well. They don't translate very well to the mid-game or the late game. He's actually just going to try to go for a YOLO run by here. He might actually get some probes. Let's see. If he can get at least 3 or 4, it might end up being worth it, because these Hellions aren't going to do anything else for him this game.
That was 4, I think. Wow, that was actually pretty nice for 2 Hellions.
Actually 6. He had 7 kills before, now he's got 13, so.
That's great. That's a great trade for those.
Good trade. Now actually getting the worker count a little bit higher than PartinG with that.
With Mules, that's obviously great for the Terran.
Yeah.
And we see no Viking production whatsoever, so it's quite frank. It's quite obvious that Reality doesn't know that Colossus are on the map, which is going to be a big problem very soon when we see 2 or 3 more.
Stalker gets picked off here, funny as this, instead of the probe. But he's going to need detection over here to deal with that, so he's just going to show the probe, which may then further lead Reality to believe that there's going to be another base. But he's seen with the Watchtower this whole push. And he's still making medevacs. You know, he's going to get those last 2 out. He doesn't want to cancel those, but would love to have some Vikings here. His Marauder count is still at, it's a good ratio, but I don't know if it's enough here. He's going to go for a counter drop, actually, with 4 of those Mars, so they're missing at home. Scans, and that's a terrifying RBGC with a scan.
Yeah, he is. He just doesn't have enough for this. He's actually going to push straight away.
He's got the range on the Vikings, and they're doing so well. As long as he micros them back, and he is so far, he's got to be careful about that one in the front. Nice force fields here to save it. He's fighting with so many of these SCVs as well.
Yeah, SCVs coming offline. You're fighting Zealots, in fact, and that's never ideal. The drop in the main base looks like it will be cleaned up by one Colossus and a cannon. Easy peasy, and Reality is looking pretty dead right now. This bunker is not going to last very long. Stim is done. +1 is almost done. He has 2 Vikings. I think actually PartinG's going to need another warp in here. The Stalkers are, not going to be able to protect these Colossi. One does get targeted down.
But I mean, every SCV in the natural is gone at this point.
Yeah, PartinG actually probably should just turn around and take a 3rd base here if he wants to be super safe. Could try to end it, but I just don't think that's necessary.
If he brings his other Colossi from the main up to the front and keeps warping in, I think he could just finish the job. But you're right, he doesn't have to. He can just go 2 forwards from here, take a 3rd, and play with a very impressive lead.
Looks like he may just want to get Blink and use that to finish it. I think he should eventually take a 3rd, though, if he's not going to kill. He still has that Widowmine to deal with over there, though, so I actually don't even think it would be a bad choice to take the 3rd base at, like, the 8 o'clock. The base that's, like, right above his main. I think that would be a pretty smart choice.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really like the fact that he left the Mothership core at home just to deny any sort of counter drops. And I mean, he could have done a lot of damage with those Marauders if PartinG didn't have that at home. So it was a very nice play, very, very smart.
Observer's finally there now, so he can kill that Widowmine. This is only his 2nd Observer, because he was using constant Chrono on those Colossi to make that push work. Now he can finally queue up the Nexus. Nothing to deny him. And both these players on even upgrades. Actually, I'm mistaken. No, he only has the armor queued now. He doesn't have +1, whereas the +1 is done for Reality. My bad.
Well, Reality's moving out on the map. It looks like he wants to go for some kind of aggression here. He knows that PartinG is going for that 3rd base, as it was cleared by that Widowmine. Widowmine did see that. And,
and I mean, we do see another Colossus kind of being built now, so I really feel like if he wants to deal with his army, he's going to have at least 3 Colossi. I mean, with that kind of Viking count as it is, and with the amount of Marauders in this army, it's going to be pretty hard to DPS down before the Vikings can really do any damage.
Yeah, he doesn't have charge, he doesn't have a lot of Zealots, he only has 4 of those, so he really does need that Colossus as his damage output. And I'm kind of worried about that. I mean, this is a very well-forged army here by Reality. I mean, it's the exact ratio you would want to have against this type of comp.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, the layout of this map is so difficult for Terran to kind of fight Protoss because of the chokes. There's so many chokes. It's so hard to kind of find a good position, especially if there's force fields involved. So it's going to be interesting if Reality's actually going to go for it. Looks like he is. He's kind of posturing up for it, constantly rallying units across the map. No 3rd CC landed anywhere. So,
SCV pull.
Lazy boy.
Here we go.
Might be too little too late, though, considering how many SCVs he lost in that natural from the first fight.
All right, a lot of Vikings here to the right side. Force fields are amazing right there. Targets down one of those Vikings, gets the 2nd one. And Colossi even pick off the units. He's going to be careful of those sentries. Force fields again. And look at that. He's like, sure, welcome you to come in 1 by 1 through those force fields.
Wow. Oh, those Vikings being picked off 1 by 1. He's got nothing to kill the Colossi. Now time warps on the whole army. Oh, my Lord.
What are we seeing here?
PartinG just made him look like a child. Made him look like a child's plaything.
Oh, look at the Nexus.
The Nexus queued up here, and that is all she wrote. GG. 3 Gs even.
Oh, is that a warning?
Possibly.
Wow, you don't want a warning in the playoffs right at the end here.
No, you definitely
That's
do not.
like the biggest mistake ever.
And one thing I forgot to mention, they actually do still have a warning. So Samsung actually has to get a very convincing win here in order to take 1st place.
Wow.
So if that's another warning, could be another loss point. We're not sure.
Huge mistake.
PartinG's like, yep, I'm pretty sick.
He is sick, and I mean, that was the kind of the story of the map. It's what I thought from the start, and it's kind of the reason why we don't see many Terrans and we see a lot more Protoss and Zerg on this map, or Terran versus Zerg on this map, because, I mean, the chokes are so hard to do those kind of pushes, and especially when you got to build like PartinG's going straight for Colossi, skipping out on upgrades or anything like that, and kind of, he knows exactly what he needs to get against that kind of build.
Yeah. Well, that was, I mean, that fight was... Yep. It was actually something out of like a movie. It was like something out of a dream I had once.
It's like a wet dream for Protoss, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like Reality's sitting there like when I watch the units that he has, he's just like stimming them repeatedly, running into force fields because he's like, well, I mean, there's too many stalkers, I can't lift them over the wall.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to happen. You want the force field to go down. You want the Vikings to keep attacking the Colossi so your Stalkers blink in and kill every single one before the fight even begins.
It just makes it look silly, man. The Terran